Hi Verse, it's your girl KZ here today to give you guys another video. Welcome back Verse to another Verse news. Today's topic is going to be very interesting for me actually, very interesting. This is something that has been going on actually for a few days now, and it's definitely gotten worse. And I say that for the particular person that's involved in this, right? This is interesting to me mainly because of the fact that the topic has to do with the industry of video games and also the industry for actors and voice acting. It's quite the topic. It actually started quite a discussion about how voice actors are underpaid in certain video game studios and the fact that they don't get offered at the wage that they should be. When it comes down to this, right, there is the voice actress by the name of Bayonetta Taylor, and she is the voice for Bayonetta. She did the voice work for 1 and 2, but not for 3, and 3 is supposed to be coming out in a few days as of the timing that I'm making this video. It's interesting too because a lot of people were kind of wondering like, how come she didn't reprise her role? Like, if she's not Bayonetta, then who's going to be playing the role of Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3, right? I've come to find out that she was replaced by the legendary voice actress Jennifer Hale, who, if you don't know, she has been the voice actress for a lot of characters, really, like for animated shows, for video games. My favorite role that she's done clearly is for the female Commander Shepard in Mass Effect, the Mass Effect trilogy. I love her in that role. I always play the female character because she honestly has a better performance than the male actor. You know, no disrespect to the male actor, he does a great job too, but Jennifer Hale's performance is more spot on, if we're being honest, if you play the game. Here, for Bayonetta 3, apparently Bayonetta Taylor came out on Twitter, and of course, of all places to come out, because we all know when it comes down to coming out with a statement or you speaking out on something, you know, the best way to go to is Twitter, because that's where all the drama occurs. She ended up making, I believe it was 4 or 5 part videos, which I haven't seen yet. I went on her Twitter feed and I see that there's a part 1, part 2, part 3, and there are quite a lot of views. The first part video has over 300K of views already, and they're not very long either. I don't know if I'll be reacting to all of them, maybe just one, just to give you guys an idea, and an article talking about the situation. But basically, she came out on Twitter also talking about the fact that she got offered an amount that didn't suit her. She said that she felt that for the amount of work and the amount of effort, you know, that she put into the game, you know, especially a game that has a lot of money being put in to be made in the first place, that she should have been offered something more. And that she came out saying that she was only offered $4,000 just to reprise her role in Bayonetta 3. And of course, yeah, like in a way, I guess I could agree that it's kind of small if this is, you know, a role that you're reprising for the 3rd time, and clearly the franchise is a hit, because this is Bayonetta, right? Bayonetta is a very popular character in the video game industry. But here, she came out on Twitter wanting to talk about this whole thing, and she stirred the pot where now a lot of other voice actors are coming out. I heard somebody say, yeah, like I was in Detective Pikachu, the video game, and I made more money reading 2 lines than I did in this other video game studio, you know, where I only got paid this amount of money. And now it's starting to stir up a lot of talk about how voice actors are kind of getting underpaid here. There is a lot more to say, but I'm going to be reacting and of course reading an article from IGN to let you guys know more about the situation. So with that said though, Verse, let's get to it. I am on Twitter. I am on Bayonetta Taylor's Twitter feed. I'm going to be reacting to the first part video that she talks about. I don't think it's too long. This is part 2. Is there a part 1? I think it's gone. What happens to the part 1 video? Alright, let's just see what she has to say here.
Now, those of you who follow me on Twitter know that I'm more of a lover than a fighter, and sometimes think I'm not very much like Bayonetta at all, but I guess I am a little bit more like Bayonetta than I thought. I understand that boycotting this game is a personal choice, and there are those that won't, and that's fine. But if you're someone who cares about people, who cares about the world around you, who cares about who gets hurt with these financial decisions, then I urge you to boycott this game. I decided to do it to stand up in solidarity with people all over the world who do not get paid properly for their talents. Fat cats cream off the top and leave us the rotten crumbs. You know, in England right now, there are nurses going to food banks to feed their children. This is not right. This is not acceptable. It impacts mental health. Because of it, I suffered from depression and anxiety. I worried that I was going to be on the streets. That terrified me so much that once I was suicidal. I am not afraid of the non-disclosure agreement. I can't even afford to run a car. What are they going to do? Take my clothes? Good luck to them. Bayonetta always stands up for those with less power and stands up for what is right. And in doing this, you stand with her. Thank you.
Okay, wow, I wasn't expecting that. So she got very depressed and escalated how she felt over some paying differences. Like, she got like that because she felt that she was underpaid. Okay. Now, I know anybody could probably, look at my reaction and be like, well, damn, it's not like that at all. I say that because since this story has been out for a few days now, right? This was all on day one when she came out with this video. And then people started talking about it saying, oh, wow, that it was very unfair for the voice actress of Bayonetta, to have been underpaid like this, that it actually got her this depressed. Then the studio came out saying that that wasn't true. The amount that she was offered wasn't really $4,000 US. It wasn't really that. It was supposed to be a lot more than that. I heard that she was supposed to be paid anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. There is more information behind that, but that's what I heard, that was the original amount she was supposed to be doing for the amount of time she would be coming back to reprise her role. And she lied because apparently the $4,000 amount that she was offered wasn't technically official. So you can't officially say that that's how much they offered you if it wasn't official. You know what I'm saying? It does kind of come off like she is exaggerating it. I don't agree with the fact that you should boycott the game, because let's be honest here. Video games, they've grown like a lot, right? Video game studios have become bigger, more popular. In a way, it's getting, for me, I don't know how anybody would feel about this. I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think. But for me, playing video games isn't really something that I like to do as much anymore, if I'm being honest with you. It's getting kind of boring, if I'm being honest with you. The only games that I really find interesting now, besides certain types of games or shooters or, your generic style, is honestly indie games, because indie games are very creative. There's no high studio behind it, there's no demand, it's all creativity from these individual people who are independent. And that's what I love about indie games, is that they're very creative because there's no one behind them telling them what to do. They have a vision for how they want to make a game. They make a game in the best way of the amount of resources that they have, and the majority of the time, not a little bit, no, the majority of the time it comes off pretty well. And they made a lot of money doing it, and now they've grown a bigger team to continue adding more to their franchise. That's awesome. I will say, if there's one thing that she is spot on about, is that yes, it is true. Sometimes voice actors do get underpaid for reading or doing certain roles. But of course, I feel like you can always decline that. You don't necessarily have to accept that. And if anything, I don't really see why she had to go through all this trouble. I mean, couldn't she have just negotiated for a higher pay wage? Like she could have just, she couldn't have requested something bigger. I mean, this is the third Bayonetta game, so with the amount of effort she put in, I'm pretty sure the studio could have been like, yeah, you know what, maybe we can come up with something, and I think they did. I read something about that. I'm gonna try to find it if I can. But yeah, there's a lot more here. Another thing that a lot of people were kind of curious about was, what was it that Jennifer Hale had to say about the situation? And she did say something about the situation. She posted this statement on her Twitter, and I'm gonna read it right now. She says, with regard to Bayonetta 3, as a longtime member of the voice acting community, I support every actor's right to be paid well and have advocated consistency for this for years. Anyone who knows me or has followed my career will know that I have great respect for my peers and that I am an advocate for all members of the community. I am under an NDA and I am not at liberty to speak regarding this situation. My reputation speaks for itself. Yeah, so she, I'm pretty sure she has some things to say, but she can't, so that's understandable. I sincerely ask that everyone keep in mind that this game has been created by an entire team of hardworking, dedicated people, and I hope everyone will keep an open mind about what they've created. Finally, I hope that everyone involved may resolve their differences in an amicable and respectful way. With love and respect to all of you, Jennifer Hale. I agree with her here. You know what? In fact, there we go. This is why I don't entirely agree with Helena, and I agree a lot here with what Jennifer is saying. Because Helena is saying boycott the whole game. But you have to understand, a lot of people, you know, made the game. It was an entire team. So you're not just hurting this studio, you're hurting a lot of good, hard-working employees, you know, that put a lot of time and effort into this video game. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will buy the game. From what I hear, it's getting a lot of good reviews, which is great, you know, Ms. Bayonetta. You know, I don't think there's nothing wrong with putting out a statement for, you know, to have there be some awareness for voice actors. I do appreciate that because I'm trying to be a voice actor myself. But I don't really feel like you should boycott an entire industry. If anything, that's even going to hurt your career, in my opinion. Because, you know, it's going to make studios cautious to want to work with you if something doesn't, you know, come to your satisfaction. I do feel like maybe it was a bit over dramatic when I first heard it at first, because I was like, damn, you got super depressed and you couldn't do this and that because you were underpaid. I mean, is that the only job you were offered? You couldn't find any other roles to do? Because that's part of being an actor. A majority of the time, as being an actor, you will be out of work. That's just a game. I didn't want to believe that, but it's true. That's just how it works, you know? So you gotta be ready for stuff like that. Here, I was thinking, you know, as a voice actor, clearly, you know, Helena has a great voice for voice acting. I can see why she got the role for Bayonetta in the first place. So I'm thinking, you can't do any other roles? That's just where I'm coming from. I'm going to be reading an article from IGN talking about this. So Bayonetta 3 voice actors details their pay, workload, and dangerous race to the bottom. Amidst the situation surrounding Bayonetta 3 leads to a real discussion about fair pay for voice actors in the video game industry. Almost exactly 5 years since the longest actor strike in US history game came to a close, video game voice actors are in the spotlight once again. Back in 2017, it was about voice actors refusing to work with publishers like Activision and Take-Two over fair payment concerns. Now, a fairly controversy surrounding Nintendo and Platinum's upcoming Bayonetta 3 has reignited the debate over fair pay for voice actors in the video game industry. It all started over a week ago when former Bayonetta voice actress Helena Taylor released a thread of videos on Twitter claiming she was offered only $4,000 in total to reprise her role as Bayonetta in Nintendo's upcoming Bayonetta 3. In addition, Taylor asked fans to boycott the game and instead donate money that they would have spent on it to charity. In the middle of the ensuing social media firestorm, a conversation surrounding voice actor wages in the video game industry started to develop, with some actors sharing their accounts on how much they were getting paid taking on certain roles. I get that, yeah. Like, you know, for people that are involved in the industry, you are going to want to talk about it. Like, no, I agree with her or him or whatever, you know, because of the fact that, yeah, like, it's true, I had this experience, I even got offered this much and that much. Who knows? I hope I don't ever come across that, but again, I wouldn't take it to that extreme unless it was super messed up, probably. You know, like, there is a way to resolve everything. You just gotta find a way to do it. But okay. Then the story took a new turn on Tuesday. A report from Bloomberg and later incorporated by VGC revealed that Platinum allegedly attempted to hire Taylor for 45-hour sessions at a rate between $3,000 and $4,000 apiece. This would have put Taylor's total compensation for Bayonetta 3 at $15,000. There it is, $15,000, much higher than the amount she claimed she was offered. Taylor has since released a new statement saying she was in fact offered $15,000 for the role. You see what I mean? She was offered something a lot more than what she originally said. She exaggerated her situation a bit. You hear her story and you're like, okay, I hear it. Like, the first half I understood. She was getting underpaid. She wasn't being treated, you know, with the respect that she, you know, for her performance that she was given. She ended up exaggerating her situation a little bit, because towards the second half, when she said she got super depressed and that she went further lengths down, I'm thinking, you really did all that over a game? You know? I mean, wow. Like, there's more things you could do then. You know, it's like, all right, well, if you don't want my talent, because that's what I would do. If I try to offer my services to a studio and they didn't really feel like I was worth the amount that I'm asking for, then I'd be like, all right, fine, fuck y'all then. I'll take my talent somewhere else. I wouldn't really get so overly depressed, you know, for something that really isn't worth it. You know what I mean? There's more opportunities out there. Through all the drama and changes to the story, there's still a very real discussion that had to be surrounding pay and workload for the voice actor industry. So IGN sought out to learn the following. What is the standard rate for a voice actor, and what is the workload like? IGN spoke to 3 people in the voice acting industry to find out. As with any industry, a voice actor's compensation greatly fluctuates depending on the scope of the project and the resources from the studio. We spoke to one voice actor with experience on multiple AAA titles who chose to remain anonymous. It's worthy noting that we spoke to this actor before the Bloomberg report changed and discourse surrounding Bayonetta's situation when 4,000 was still primarily a number being thrown around. $4,000 is slightly more than what I got paid being a supporting character in a fighting game, the actor said. Yeah, union jobs should be paid a lot more. It was a lot of work. It was efforts, which is getting hit, attacking, and all that. It was the story mode, the arcade mode, and it was a lot of work. And I'm a supporting character, and I'm not even a main character. The actor mentioned it was a union job, which is a huge factor in determining how much these performers get paid. The union that represents voice actor talents in the video game industry, the SAG-AFTRA, I know what they're talking about, and the actors spoke to the member of the union. In a document from SAG detailing the minimum wages their members will work for, it shows that one day has a going rate from somewhere between $900 and $1,000. Well, damn. I don't know. Maybe for professionals that might not be a lot, but for me right now, I'm kind of like, I'll take it. I'm like, I'll take it. Shit, I'll take any penny I can get. Okay, I'll leave it at that for a minute. I'm pretty sure there's so much more to say, but I don't want this to be longer than it has to. Okay then, Verse. So, just my thoughts on the situation, and that is the fact that you need to make sure you have your information in check. The last thing you want to do is come out with a story that makes you the victim, and then it turns out that you came out with only part of a story and not the whole story. I do feel bad for the voice actress of Bayonetta. I really do think that if this is a third installment of a game and it's very popular, yeah, I do think that, yeah, she should have been paid maybe a little more. I understand that we live in a time now where people can be very demanding. I totally get that. You know, it's hard to give people the amount of money that they want. There are some shady people out there that ask for money because they just want extra money because they think they're all that. No, they're not. Okay? I feel like it's also a way of reputation also, because there are famous voice actors out there that do get paid a lot of money, right? But I do also feel like it is important to definitely to make the situation aware. I am happy to see that, you know, that this is bringing up a discussion, so hopefully, you know, studios will understand what it is that voice actors have to go through, because let's be honest, voice actors do sometimes make the game. The Last of Us, who made that game? Well, Troy Baker, because of his performance as Joe. That's why we like the game so much, because we really liked the story that they were giving, and we liked the performance that was behind it. If it had a great story, but if the performance wasn't there, it would be kind of hard to get into it, right? And I'm not just saying that for The Last of Us, for any game really, you know, if I'm being honest, you know, good performances really do help us get invested in these games and in the stories and whatever it is that you're trying to do. I can feel for this voice actor, you know, talking about how he said he was in Detective Pikachu and he wasn't even on screen and he made more money. That's kind of funny. I was like, damn, okay. This is an interesting situation. I feel like, you know, the voice actress, I feel like she's gonna have to basically lay low for a while, that's for sure. I feel like she kind of like hurt herself a little bit, you know, for doing that. I think if she came out with the fair amount of 15,000, who knows? Maybe people would be more sympathetic to her, but now she kind of opened herself up to more criticism because she tried to come off a lot more like a victim instead of coming out and being honest about the situation. That's just where I'm coming from. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't, and if you don't, that's okay. But I'm just saying though, I am happy to see that at least she started out, you know, a movement where, hey, you know, like, be aware for voice actors, you know, who do these games for you guys. Like, you know, we're not getting paid the amount that we should be. I'm fine with that, but I don't like how she did it. That's my problem. And props to Jennifer Hale for what she did. You know, she made it very clear, hey, don't boycott the game. Like, you're not the only one behind it. A massive team was behind this project, so, you know, you gotta also help them out. You know, they're trying to pay their bills too. I totally understand that. So with that said though, Verse, if you guys like what you saw, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification for more content as always. Look forward to the next video, Verse, probably in a few days, because right now I'm in the middle of rehearsing some lines. I got like a lot to do. I'm getting close to finals now in a few weeks. So yeah, so I'm gonna, you know, obviously do my best to keep trying to post more videos out there. But with that said though, Verse, thank you very much for watching my video. Let me know what you guys think about the situation. I'd be happy to hear. And as always, Verse, have an awesome day and look forward to the next video. Later, Verse.